This video is brought to you by AKS IAS.
Rammohan, Meena.
Yes.
You are from Bharatpur district.
Yes, sir. Bharatpur, Rajasthan.
You want me to start, sir? Yes. Hi, Rammohan. How's your day?
So fine, sir.
Yeah. Can you explain in layman's terms what is postmodernism?
So, postmodernism is an anthropological thought in which they criticize all the thoughts that were related to modernism. Actually, the basic idea of postmodernism is that you cannot conduct an inquiry because there is always a bias in any kind of inquiry or any kind of study. So they give that you should. It is not always possible that you will be able to know what is the view of insider view, because there will be variation. So basically postmodernism is a criticism of modernism.
Why there is bias?
Sir, because every researcher or examiner who is conducting research will have his own ideas, and when he observes things, he will be examining those findings from his own viewpoint of view. So according to postmodernism, they think that you cannot be scientific 100%. You cannot be objective 100%. You will have some while drawing any inference or taking any decision, it will be influenced by your thoughts or your own upbringing or your own culture.
So what is the correlation between power and knowledge in the light of postmodernism?
Sir, in light of postmodernism, those people who are in power, they define what is right and wrong. Because the definition of rights and wrong is changed according to the people having power. So, for example, in
what is it to do with knowledge?
Sir?
What is it to do with knowledge? My question is related to knowledge, right? Yeah.
Sir, they define, those people in power, they define that what kind of knowledge is to be served to society, what kind of knowledge is right, and what should be knowledge system. The knowledge and its systems are designed in such a way that they help the people in power.
Any
to sustain
example
power.
you can cite for this?
Sir, the history of any country is written in such a way that it helps ruling establishment, or whenever there is a change in regime or there is a change in order, the educational scheme or knowledge base is changed in such a way that it legitimizes the ruling establishment.
Do we have examples in India for such a thing?
Sir, in India, the modern history was written in such a way that it is highlight role of Congress more, instead of giving due importance to tribal revolts and other people who had taken part in a struggle for independence.
So you do not find it objective, modern Indian history?
Sir, I find it that the ruling establishment, those people have power, they design knowledge in such a way that it helps them to sustain power or legitimize their power.
Okay, so what is post-truth phenomenon?
Sir, this post-truth phenomena is modern phenomena in which false or something is propagated in such a way that it propagated multiple times through use of social media and internet, that even wrong fact started looking like truth.
Any example can you cite for a post-truth phenomenon?
Sir, right now I am not remembering any example, but in Jharkhand there was this WhatsApp messaging for the child pickers are there. So if there is no one a child picker, they create a message and amplify. This message was amplified by social media, so that everyone who is seeing a different person, they see that he is a child picker.
So what is the source of this, where did this start actually, this post-truth era? Where can we trace the origins of the post-truth era?
Sir, origin of post-truth era can be traced from where amplification of any message become easy. In post-truth era, the basic fact is that a message is repeated or amplified so much that a person cannot check its veracity or its fact, its truthfulness. So we can say that with internet and with social media, the era of post-truth started.
How is it different from the Goebbelian propaganda after during the Second World War? That is same, right? And how is it different?
Sir, in post-truth, we once you initiate a message, it is very easy to propagate it. Instead, because the world is so much connected at this point of time that even checking facts or knowledge, we are living in an era of internet where we have less time to check whether the information is true or not. So in this era, it is easier from previous one.
Okay, interesting. So, do you think we are still evolving?
Yes.
So how? Why?
Sir, evolution is a natural process, and everyone, even nation, human, all are evolving. Because we are changing and changing, because nature or climate, they pose new challenges to us. And as a human, we have to adapt to those changes, and we are evolving in such a way that we adapt to those changes, and nature continues to throw such challenges, and the human can keep continuing evolving.
Any evidences we have that we are evolving?
Sir, of evolution's evidences are over a longer period of time. We can, so in human perspective, we see that human brain size is increasing, and human body is also changing. We have more fats, abdominal fat is more, and the previous men, humans they have more muscle mass. We see people getting, this females are getting menarche at early age, and so this
Are these scientific studies conducted by anthropologists, the facts which you are trying to quote?
Yes, sir.
Actually, there are dedicated anthropological studies to prove that evolution has happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay, interesting. So, and you are saying that women are attaining menarche early.
At early age.
So, what is that phenomenon called as?
Sir, I do not remember exactly.
What could be the reasons for this?
Sir, it is they are attaining maturity earlier.
Why? Is it just because of evolution?
So due to change in social factors also, having good diet, good nutritious diet, and it is also related with every societies. But in some societies, they are definitely
Is it good diet or unhealthy diet?
So it is related with nutrition.
What type of nutrition?
It is good diet, which
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think precocious puberty is because of consumption of trans fatty acids, processed foods?
Precocious puberty is a different thing, and it is a pathological condition.
Okay.
The decline in age of menarche is a different thing. General decline in society is a different
I
thing.
got you. It's clear. Thank you. So, what is cultural lack?
Sorry, sir, I am not
You are not. No problem. So, you heard these terms: palliative care, rehabilitative care, geriatric care.
Yes.
Can you explain the three terms in simple layman's terms for me?
Sir, palliative care is something where a person is dying, and we have to simplify or help him in the process of death. It is palliative care. Geriatric care is something in which person is disabled or is getting aged, so he cannot perform his functions normally. In that case, we try to reduce his pain, like people in old age are facing issues of joint pains, or they are not able to walk, or they are not able to remember. So geriatric care is aimed at it. Rehabilitative care is when a person get injured or he is having some kind of paralysis or like this thing, we help him to achieve near normal, which from where he started. So in case of paralysis, we will try to make him, we will support him, provide props so that he can attain the health condition which he was having previously.
Okay. You heard about this concept, social model of disability?
I am not remembering.
You are not. You know this term, social dividend?
Yes.
Can you please detail?
So social dividend is actually this time I am not remembering exactly it is. So can I guess?
Please.
So social dividend is the cost, the benefit that society will be get from a healthy population.
It's not that limited perspective. I'm asking you in general, what is a social dividend? No. Are you for universal basic income or against universal basic income?
Sir, it is cannot be given a clear answer, but universal basic income will help. It will help in reducing corruption and diversion. It will be we will be able to target beneficiaries in a better manner. But it also has challenges like the money that is intended to be used for health or for nutrition, it may be diverted. That when people receive money directly, he will use it according to his own choice. So the what state wants to the people to do with that money, he may do not use it. There are that because the lowest part of society where money is very less, when they get money, there are chances that they will use it on alcohol or not use it on
that point is taken. You can go to that point, yeah.
Other productive means.
Any other issues?
So other issue is that how will we identify and how will, because for universal basic income the cost will be very high, and people who are having more income also, they will be getting universal basic. So in Indian case we have to make some criteria which will divide that these people will be getting basic income. So in limited basic income which can help in Indian case.
Okay, good. So see, what motivates you? I think how many attempts you have given till now?
Sir, I have given 7 attempts.
7 attempts. So what motivates you?
Actually, I graduated from SMS Medical College and I started working as a medical officer. When I started working as a medical officer, I worked for 1 or 2 years. Then I realized that I am at receiving end of policy. The policy are designed somewhere and we have to implement it. And we face challenges in implementing those policies. Then I tried to communicate these things to seniors and I did not get response, because when you face challenges in implementing policy, you want to correct them, like this policy. So at that of time there was a direct benefit transfer. So I faced many challenges in implementing direct benefit transfer. Just like it was transferring money to an account of beneficiary who has given birth to a child in my hospital. So at that time she was not having account. So we have to work that she get an account opened. Even when we get her account opened and we transfer money to her account, she had not received money. At that point of time, I realized that the communication should be two-way, and those who are making policy, they should be listening to those who are implementing it. So that motivates me that if I
currently they are not listening.
Sir, there is one-way communication. When we we are implementing the policy and we face challenges, and these challenges are not listened, or they are actually they are not rectified. For example, if I transfer.
Why do you want to go to a place where people are not even interested in listening? Just if you are a single person who would listen, then don't you think other people who are working with you, other IAS or other, if they are still the same, then what difference you are going to make?
Sir, my point is that they are listening, but when a person who has experience from working at edge, at implementing the policies, he came into the other side. I will bring the knowledge and information to other side and try to improve the system. And I was working as a medical officer on a smaller scale, so I think that I will work on a larger scale so that it will be on a better platform.
Okay, I'll read out a statement for you, Rammohan. Try to interpret it slowly. Tradition is not to preserve the ash, but to pass on the fire. You want me to repeat again?
Yes.
Yeah. Tradition is not to preserve the ashes, but to pass on the fire. Please.
Sir, it can be related with culture, and we transmit culture from one generation to another generation. In that transmission of culture, we do not transmit it as it is. We add value to it, and the next generation will also add value to it, and we transmit the meaningful aspects of culture. So in every generation, they add some aspect, some more value to culture and remove other. So we transmit the fire part of culture to next generation, and the ash part that is not useful to another generation, we keep it there only.
Okay, interesting. One last question from my side. What is the biggest challenge you have faced while working as a medical officer? How did you handle it?
Sir, while working as a medical officer during COVID pandemic, I faced challenges of allocating bed to people due to lack of oxygen and due to lack of bed itself. So my own mother was ill and there was no available bed. I have to treat her at my home only. And the challenge was that when her saturation was going down and I have to make decision and there is no hospital bed. So that was an extreme form of challenge, but we used whatever medical knowledge was available to us, like keeping her in supine position, giving her dexamethasone and keeping ready medical equipments and because there was no empty bed. So this was a biggest challenge, but we keep doing whatever is medically possible. So in that case, she survived. So,
very good. Sir. Okay, Rammohan, right? Can a female become pregnant before menarche?
Sir, possible. Possible.
How?
Sir, menarche, menstrual cycle is initiated after the first egg is found before menarche. So if there is availability of sperm before first cycle, she can be pregnant. Because first cycle will come only when she shed egg along with the cycle.
Okay. What is the difference between monozygotic and dizygotic twins?
Sir, in monozygotic, the twins have same DNA, same genetic material. There will be one zygote. That the zygote will divide into two.
Because of?
Because of once fertilization has taken place, one sperm and one egg. Now zygote is formed. Because of any reason, if there is division of that zygote into two parts, that will lead to monozygotic twins. And that can be due to biological factors, anatomical factors also, and many other factors. In dizygotic twins, there are two eggs that are fertilized by two different sperms. So there will be a difference of genetic material in both the zygotes.
Your father is a farmer, right?
Yes.
So what do you call that? That some twins they call, what is that?
Monozygotic twins.
Oh. General parlance they call something. Identical twins and identical twins.
So actually, both twins, it is not possible to tell that these are not identical or not monozygotic or dizygotic, but twins are mostly identical. Even even in dizygotic twins also the genetic material is more or less same. There is very less variation. So we called, we identify them on the basis of the amnions and chorion and other structures that whether they were identical or not.
What does your father do in your own farm?
Sir, we grow wheat and bajra and maize this time, and in horticulture we go tomatoes.
Okay. How profitable is agriculture in contemporary times?
Sir, it is not profitable.
So what was advice given by you to your father, since you were literate, already into the service, before that you were a doctor, so well-read person, having fair understanding about economy, agriculture, how it is being done, how it should be done. So what was the advice from you to your father?
Sir, my advice to my father is to...
Have you given any such advice?
Yes, sir.
Go on.
Sir, in agriculture we have two challenges. One, it is non-remunerative. But other challenge is if we remove our people who are doing agriculture, so we have to pay for the cost of their food. So in a way, by doing agriculture, they are making their own foods. So if they leave that agriculture part and do any other thing, they have to purchase goods, purchase food from market. Its cost is very high in comparison to when you grow it. So the first advice is that we are doing it from generations, so we have to do it. The idea is to do it scientifically. The more scientifically we do it, and so there are more chance that our production will be better. So we implemented this micro irrigation technologies, and we take help of gram sevaks. So they bring they are aware of whatever new government schemes are, like greenhouse or like Kisan credit card, which give us agriculture credit. And so by using this and by adapting to new technologies, we can get production which is better. The real challenge is in marketing. So when we have produce, we always get better produce. But when it comes to marketing, we fail because the marketing system doesn't support us. Even in horticulture, when we grow vegetables, when we take vegetables, we have to sell it on the whatever price that is they are giving to us. We have to sell it because the cost will increase if we bring it back. Same is with other crops.
Okay, so the problem lies in marketing,
Yes.
not in production or not in the kind of cultivation methods they adopt.
Sir, there is a problem there also. But the real challenge that as a farmer we face is in marketing. In production,
Okay,
we
what
have
are the steps taken by the government in making the marketing of food crops hassle-free?
Sir, government has bring an e-market. They are reformed in the agriculture produce market committee. They had asked state to pass law which reduce tax and facilitate. Secondly, sir, the government had passed 3 laws which were helping farmers to sell their produce at any place they want.
So is Indian farmer ready to understand the intricacies of now?
No, sir.
Then
But sir, this is a step which is taken by government. As a farmer, we are not able to understand because it is highly technical. When we take our produce to mandi, we want to sell it at best price. And when in e-now, you have to search at any place that where is the best price. And now there is an increased cost of transportation. Who will take the charge of transportation? As a farmer, my crop is perishable. My vegetables are perishable. I have to sell them as early as possible. If I take them back to my home, it will be a loss to me. So usually we try to sell it on a whatever available price, so that some cost is recovered.
so how to bridge the gap between the farmer and the things that the government are doing for the welfare of the same farmer?
Sir, to improve the farming, we should look it in a holistic view. Some single pointed will not work. Single pointed. Sir, the first biggest challenge is of agriculture credit. The agriculture credit which is available at this point of time, it is not helping because they provide us a credit for a cropping season. Once you avail that credit and in any season if your crop fails, you are in a debt. So actually, the credit should be timed in such a way that whenever there is a need of any intervention, a credit should be available. For example, credit should be in parts, that at the time of harvesting, at the time of sowing, and during.
Okay, let us assume a hypothetical situation where credit is available, monsoon is good enough to provide irrigation facilities, and the government is doing at its best to increase MSP. Will these 3 things propel increasing remuneration in agriculture?
Sir, they will help. They will help. If the government is able to purchase the produce at MSP, they will definitely help farmers. Because farmer will get some profit by selling at MSP.
Okay. So don't you think that increasing MSP year by year to several crops by the government is contributing to increase in inflation in the economy?
Sir, when government announce in MSP, it is like the government will be purchasing the crop at that price if a farmer is not able to sell it. But in reality, this doesn't happen. In reality, a farmer has to sell it at the cost that is available in market, because most in our state in Rajasthan, the procurement at MSP is at very small scale. So MSP as a policy will lead to inflation because it artificially increase prices every year. But in ground reality, the price is defined by demand and supply. So more or less the price remains same. The inflation in the food prices is due to increase in fuel and other input costs that lead to more increase in food cost other than MSP.
Okay, since you mentioned about increase in fuel price is having more impact on inflation rather than increase in MSP. I think you are aware of increase in petrol price
Yes.
day by day. I think it was close to 120 rupees per litre today. So, what are the steps taken by the government to control inflation?
Sir, to control inflation, the government is trying to have a tight money policy. So they are working on the demand side, where they are the RBI has changed its stance to from accommodative to thinking about targeting inflation. So by creating tight money policy, they will absorb money from market. One second is that they are trying to have reduce our dependency on fuel. So in that case, they are trying to bring renewable energy, and so that our dependence on fuel and price will reduce that. So
But it takes many decades, right?
Yes.
To reduce the dependence on fuel, etc., fossil fuels. So you said tight monetary policy, right? What happens if the repo rates and the reverse repo rates are increased? How does it impact cost of credit in the economy, and how does it impact employment in the economy?
Sir, employment and inflation, they go in opposite direction. When we increase repo rate and reverse repo rate, there will be tightening of policy. So the credit which is available for banks to lend, it will not be available to them. They will park it in the RBI. So they will receive better profits. In that case, employment generation will take a back step, because for generating employment, we need investment in infrastructure projects. Or when bank will lend to people who are doing startups and other business, they will create jobs. So both of them will go in opposite direction.
Okay, one last question from my side. It is said that tribal society is a matriarchal society. Is that true?
Sir, it is true in some societies, and we can say in most of societies, the female part are dominating. When we see in tribal societies, because female have more say in domestic affairs and economic decision makings, and because in tribal societies they see female as equal, and in many tribal societies there are matrilineal societies where female are leading the families. But wherever there is when tribal societies get in touch with the other societies, there are changes in also. So they are shifting to patriarchal mindsets. Like in tribal societies also we hear about dowry.
So there is a negative impact of integration of tribal society with mainstream society.
Sir, there is change from matriarchy to patriarchal mindset.
That was a negative change, right?
Sir, it is a change, but it also brings the positives and it also brings the
No,
negatives.
just you mentioned about higher status of women in tribal society.
Yes.
The moment they are coming in contact with the mainstream society, you said the society is changing from matriarchy to patriarchy. That means female role is decreased.
Sir, the female role is changed, and basically with the Sanskritization and with the contact with higher societies and societies outside tribe, the role that female was traditionally playing in society is reduced.
Okay. That's it from my side.
Rammohan,
Sir.
have you heard Raja Rammohan Rai?
Yes, sir.
Who is this man?
Sir, Raja Rammohan Rai was a social reformer in India. He was one of the first intellectual persons who tried to bring law against sati, and he established Brahma Samaj. So he tried to reform our Indian system so that we do not feel inferior about ourselves, and we repair our own house.
The sati is seen in Rajasthan more even today.
Yes.
Why?
Sir, in
While
Rajasthan.
the other parts of the country is not observing sati, but in Rajasthan, why it is so?
Sir, in Rajasthan we have one clan of Rajputs. They actually they take pride, feel pride, and traditionally feel pride that their women will be not getting, having a daughter is like having a burden, or they have to marry your daughter, they have to their status will be decreased. So in that case, they feel very proud about the controlling women, and so the sati, which was last practice in Rajasthan, was also in such a scenario when a young husband of a young woman died, and she was from a specific Rajput community. At that, the other people of that community forced us to sit on the pyre of her husband, and even it was abolished by law. But the social acceptance of sati was so much that government was not able to control it. So sir, it is social acceptance of sati in Rajasthan, some society, that is keeping it. And in that society, sir, there is a scientific study which says that the gender ratio is very less. In the place where I work, there is a village where there is no single female in one generation. So actually, the birth of female is, and the presence of female, they attach so much value to it, so that even if her husband is died, she cannot live.
One side you are telling that the ratio is reverse, and the other side you are telling that they curse the woman having a female child. How is that?
Sir, this is a case with one single village, and in the work which we have done to improve the sex ratio in the district, first we brought the information about the laws and the benefits of having a girl child to everyone. And second was a decoy scheme, the PCP Act we implemented in a best possible manner. So we ensured it that not a single pregnancy will go to sex selection or sex detection. Because of being a border district, they were going to other states like Haryana and Delhi, but any sex detection cannot happen without assistance of any medical people. So we ensured that in my medical staff who is working with them, so they do not get any sex selective abortion, a sex selective sonography also, so that if any sonography is written, it should be written by a doctor only. And the government in Junjunu administration tried to ensure it, and many people from medical department also went to jail for conducting sex selective sonographies.
So you feel that today sati is more or less banned in that place?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Totally?
Yes, sir.
But still we get some news in the in and around, in newspapers and also in TV, that sati is still going on in Rajasthan.
Sir, there are incidents, but it is banned, and government is trying to ensure that no sati takes place.
So you think that only particular clan of Rajputs, or all Rajputs do follow this custom?
Sir, in Rajasthan, all Rajputs follow this custom.
But other than Rajputs also are following this sati?
Sir, it is in any society, the other parts of society, other castes are not watertightly separated from others. The culture is this, that there is acceptance for sati, the other people also follow it. The specific community follow it on a bigger scale to feel pride about it, and other people follow them. So the majority community which is having some, they make path for others. So other people follow it also.
So it means that most of the people still have got acceptance for this.
Sir, with modern education, the acceptance for sati is decreasing.
What is known for in Bharatpur?
Sir, Bharatpur is known for Kevladev National Bird Sanctuary.
So do you have any other natural sanctuaries in Rajasthan?
And we have, sir, Sariska in Alwar and Ranthambore National Park in Savai Madhopur district.
Have you visited Ranthambore?
No, sir.
No. Why it's too far?
Sir, it is in different district, and as a medical officer, I was not able to get any leave to visit.
Okay. But
You
you're
have
very
visited
close
during
with-
MBBS?
During MBBS, yes, there is one Ganesh Mandir in Ranthambore. Because to visit proper national park, you need permission and other thing. We had visited that Ganesh Mandir in front.
So you wanted to visit that place only when you become a IAS officer.
No, sir. No, sir. Whenever I get time, I will visit that place.
And therefore you must visit. Must visit. See? So, anyway, you get a lot of birds in Bharatpur. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
Did you see?
Yes, sir.
At which month you saw?
Sir, these birds are in when the cold season ends, and just after end of cold, or we see in even after rainy season also. So these are Siberian cranes that travels from Russia to when there is decrease in temperature in Russia. These birds migrate to the Kevla Devi.
So you have seen large number?
No, sir. When we visited, because they travel, and during agriculture sowing also, these birds visit nearby places also.
Is there any law by which the farmers are given compensation when these birds are they eat away their crops? Is there any law in Rajasthan?
Sir, I am not aware of it.
You are not aware. But Bharatpur, you were there for a long time, no?
Sir, I born in Bharatpur, and then my schooling is from Udaipur, and then graduation is from Jaipur.
What for it is known? Udaipur is known.
Sir, Udaipur is known for its palaces and lakes. And the lakes are artificially created, so freshwater lakes, and actually the area is they do not have. The area is such beautiful that it is also called as Kashmir of Rajasthan.
So Jaisalmer is known for what?
So Jaisalmer is a desert area. It is known for Jaisalmer Fort.
Only fort.
Sir,
You don't have any other?
Desert National Park we have in Jaisalmer.
But you said only 3 sanctuaries. So again adding one more.
So there is Desert National Park in Jaisalmer also.
So I visited?
No, sir.
No. Where is this camel research station located? Camels are plenty in Rajasthan
Yes.
desert, no? Where is this located?
So I am not aware of it.
There is a research station. You heard?
Sir, I heard about it, but I am not aware of which place it is.
So you joined AIR-328
Yes.
2 months back?
Yes, sir.
2 months
In
back.
January 2020.
In what way the IRS is different from the traffic service or personal service?
Sir, the traffic services deals with day-to-day operation and management of working of train. The accounts people, the IRS deals with financial aspects of it, preparation of accounts and preparation of budget, and giving financial concurrence and vetting the proposals. The personal people deal with the service records, promotions, and compensatory appointments, and they give salaries and track record of all the employees working in railway.
Suppose all the 3 services are merged. You think that you can provide an effective administration to railways?
Yes, sir. Currently, not only these 3 services, all other engineering services are also merged into one service. It is Indian Railway Management Services. By merging all the services into one, it will increase the efficiency of the system, because now every single work is to be done dealt by various other departments. So there is departmentalization in railway. By making IRMS, it will be a thinner workforce, and there will be no departmentalism or no competition. So it will the functioning of railway will be improved.
We feel that once you bring Indian Railway Management Service, it will improve the functioning of railways.
Sir, I feel that it will reduce cost and bring efficiency, and it will definitely remove departmentalism. And by reducing the number of, the railway was hiring 500 people, 500 officers. Now they are hiring only 150 officers. So they are looking for a outsourcing of the non-core areas and doing core areas only by officers. So it will, in a way, help.
Have you heard of IRCON? IRCON.
Sir, I have heard of it.
What is this IRCON?
Sir, but I am not knowing the exact details.
Okay. You need not know everything. Leave it. Then who are fraternal twins? Fraternal twins.
So fraternal twins, you can guess only. They are from same father.
No, both identical and fraternal from same father, right?
It's not about father.
Anyway, don't worry. See, we are just trying to know some clarification. Yes, nothing to worry. You can go and again verify entire thing. You have studied anthropology, no?
Yes, sir.
Mostly you are interested in physical anthropology or social anthropology?
So my interest is in biological anthropology and also in tribal part. So Indian anthropology is very interesting. It gives you different perspective about it. When you read anthropology, you look India from a different perspective. You are able to know the varieties and the type of people, the type of cultures India is having. And with the concept of cultural relativism, we develop respect for other cultures, and it is easy to accept differences. So anthropology, the tribal Indian anthropology and tribal anthropology parts, it enrich the knowledge.
Have you heard about Thurston Rangachari? Thurston and Rangachari.
No, sir.
They wrote, they compiled and they wrote a beautiful series of books. Have you heard about them? Because you are talking about tribals and all that, and I thought you must be knowing.
Sir, I read this book from tribal anthropology perspective. Not able to read it on a wider perspective. Once I will be finished with this, I will be reading anthropology. So,
where is this anthropological society located? No idea.
it should be in Calcutta.
So you read some books
Yes.
on not a general perspective, not that. Anyway, Rammohan, it's good that you have come up to this stage, and we are very happy, and I wish that you do very well. You have communication, but certain clarification is lacking. So what we suggest is that you please, once again, when do you have your interview?
It is on 5th of May.
Still
got some time,
no,
yes.
got time. So basics of anthropology you must know, and caste and tribes of South India. You just at least use your internet and tuck, see what is this caste and tribes of South India. Then you will come to know who is Thurston Rangachari. See, the tribal work, lot of work has gone in. Especially the foreigners have done initial days.
Yes.
Flora and fauna of India. They collected and compiled. Lot of Britishers have done the work. Like the tribals also, and their language and equals, so many things they have done. So since you are very much interested, so you at least you have some broad idea.
Yes.
When you tell that you know something about tribals, then immediately they will put some questions in tribal area.
So I will revise it. I was not able to revise anthropology part.
Yeah. That was visible in your answer.
That is your basic subject in the civil service. So you can't escape that.
Yes.
So that is one you have to prepare. Then your medical, because we have not gone deep into your medical aspects, because you must prepare yourself.
Yes, sir.
Especially the vaccination
Yes, sir.
and the pandemic, endemic, epidemic, like that. How, in what way they are all different and all that. So related to all those things, kindly prepare.
Okay.
And clarified view you must have. When you talk with authenticity and with confidence. That is. When you don't know, don't try to manufacture an answer. You can as well tell, sorry sir, I don't. So one need not know everything in the world. And it is impossible. So you need not. Yeah, good, but don't move your hands. So try to hold the chair so that here at least you got something, an obstacle for us to view. But I could see your hands being moved through camera. So that up and down movement should not be there. And neck movement also should not be seen obviously. And once in a while you can see. So whenever somebody gives you a question, you should not communicate that yes, I know the answer. So the extra movements you can avoid. So it is only to give a picture that you are very formal and you are very serious about the interview. It's not a casual talk. That's the reason why. Otherwise everything is good. We wish. You got, how many children you got? 2 or?
2, sir.
2. What are they studying?
Sir, one is in second class and other is 6 months old.
Oh, very good, very good. So, but when you write the caste M-I-N-A, you write M-E-E-N-A, right?
Sir, it is actually spelling, we do not know English. The spelling is different. But it is pronounced at Meena. So basically, there is different pronunciation in different regions. In Rajasthan also, with every few kilometers, the pronunciation and the dialect changes.
Yes, that is dialect.
So we actually this is one M-I-N-A, but I had not seen anyone writing this M-I-N-A as a caste. They write Meena, or for English translation of it will be M-E-E-N-A. But in this is considered similar. M-I-N-A and M-E-E-N-A, they are considered as same because different spellings of similar word.
So the gazette notification says M-I-N-A.
Yes, sir.
Meena.
So it says M-I-N-A, but in M-I-N-A these all the castes.
Yeah, M-E-E-N-A is commonly written by all the Meenas.
Yes.
But the gazette notification is M-I-N-A.
Yes. Your caste certificate is issued as M-I-N-A.
M-I-N-A. Do you know there are 1,000 Meenas in this government service all over the country?
Yes.
1,000 Meenas.
Sir, actually Meena is one of the biggest tribal group. And so in every government of Indian service we can find Meena.
More than 1,000 people are there in all services put together. It is the largest number of one community.
Actually, we have different sub-complaint like
I know,
things,
sub-com.
but they all use one.
But in Meenas there are 2 classes. One is a criminal class, another is non-criminal class.
We say it in Hindi that one is those do agriculture work. They are called Jamidar Meenas. And
Yes.
other that criminal, they are Chaukidar Meenas.
Their communities. They are the major community today. But that is inflow and outflow is there.
Yes.
Now, earlier it was not exactly division was there. It's just like Kalingas.
What is about?
Burgul Kalinga, Kintal Kalinga. One Kalinga is a criminal Kalinga, the other one is non-criminal Kalingas. Same thing there also.
Burkula Kalinga in sir?
Kintal Kalinga. See, one class they go and commit crimes in the garb of a Brahmin. They wear everything like a Brahmin, and they go to somebody's house and they stay with them, commit theft and get away.
Sir, who are those Kalingas who migrated to Srikakulam in Andhra?
Both are there.
Okay.
Both are there. Kintali is there, Burgula is like Meenas.
అంటే రెండు సైడ్ బాటకు అటు ఇటు రెండు పక్కల
అంటే Orissa, a part of Chhattisgarh, part of Maharashtra. ఇది మొత్తం ఉంటారు.
But in Srikakulam, sir, most of these caste group people, they are into government service.
Yes, మీకు largest Indian army AP people are present only from Srikakulam and Kurnool district. That is that too Gidalur, Markapur. Presently they are in Prakasham. They are the largest number. Then Madras regiment, if you see, at least 30%, 30 to 40% are Srikakulam and Prakasham. That is it, because on seeing each other like Meenas. First few Meenas entered into service. After seeing them, every Meena started working hard to get the service. Same thing is here also. Why in Hyderabad you find Srikakulam people at least not less than 1 lakh. 1 lakh. 1 lakh people are here. It is a major chunk, especially in serving at the lower ranks. There are large number of police constables. You find large number.
Yes, sir. True. That is true.
Police constables.
At lower level.
So, Meena, wish
from
you
my
all
side,
good luck.
Two suggestions. As sir said, you brush up your anthropology basics, and you just work on communication. Okay. Don't be in a rush to answer the question.
Exactly.
Listen, understand, take a pause, and then respond. So what I observed is you are trying to answer everything, as sir pointed out, and in the process you are becoming nervous. That is not a good sign. Okay, you got some decent time to work on that. So listen to the question, accordingly frame the answer. Try to avoid lengthy explanations. See, I asked about a question on agriculture. That could have been a very concise answer. Okay, so try to be more precise and concise. Address the core of the question. Okay, yeah.
Then from my side, same thing. Wait a little bit before you answer. You are rushing to answer. You are not giving any time for contemplating. A little bit of at least 8 to 10 seconds of time. You can come up with much better answer because you have good communication skills, right?
True.
That's your asset. But you are not making, putting it to better use. That's what I heard. Then I also felt you could be a little more enthusiastic. There is, as the interview is going, by the end, there is that disinterestedness. I think you have to maintain that enthusiasm throughout the interview. At a point, I felt you're feeling bored, and it's obviously shown on your face also. And another very, very important thing I want you to work seriously, the choice of words you are using. I think you need a little bit more practice on this aspect. The right word at the right time can it can leave an everlasting impression. They would think about you even after you move out of the room. Somehow, like, answers are sounding too basic for your level. You're a doctor and you're already into your service, and you also have put up good amount of service as a medical officer. So certain words they can create better impression on the panelists. So I think you can work, just make a list of all such words which you think you can bring into your answers consciously. It's all about that. Like, whenever you attend mock, write down all the questions and try to write answers like what you have given here, and you will definitely get to know that you yourself that you could have answered this in a much better way, especially when it comes to choice of words. I'm sure just work on that aspect. And how about the answers on anthropology, post-modernism? I believe you are not well prepared, but you have understood the point, especially the idea of power and knowledge. You have addressed it really well. But when it came to example, I think like that's a trap. Better not touch about modern India, Congress. You have very openly you're telling that because
that
of
was
Congress.
Taking sides.
Why should we get into that
Unbureaucratic character.
It's like the neutrality is missing there. It's obvious, isn't it? Did you feel so?
No, sir, actually, I was not remembering another example of it. I will prepare a different example.
I felt that's like a big trap. If some Congress sympathizer is sitting in the panel, he may penalize. Prepare for a better example. Even post-truth phenomenon, I felt the clarity is less. You know it, but when it comes to expression, definitely clarity is missing. Try to prepare it a little better. Because you have limited the perspective when you are talking it only in the context of social media. Of course, social media is a primary instrument through which post-truth phenomenon was popularized, but make it little more comprehensive and work on that aspect. Are we still evolving is a good answer, but I think you are a little hesitant to use the terms like microevolution, macroevolution. Need not hesitate, because if somebody is asking this question, maybe they would have had at least this basic knowledge about anthropology. It's not too technical also. Or if you feel it is technical, you can tell that microevolution in half a line, then macroevolution, which is about. So that will bring comprehensiveness into your answer, that will bring authenticity to your answer. Otherwise it sounded like, a little less authentic. You are right on the point, you hit the theme of the question properly. But when it comes to narrative, it could have been better. I felt it's not that you weren't aware, but I felt you hesitated to use those terms. I don't think that hesitation is required. Somebody is asking a question of this, they would be aware of that much basics. And also, why are you hesitating to tell that like at a point you got confused between matriarchy, matrilineal, and why are you hesitating to tell that patriarchy is bad? If not bad, at least you should have confidently told there is a decline. Why did you hesitate to take a stand?
The question is about status of women, right?
That shows your personality. Like they want to test your personality. It's not that they aren't aware, but they want. That's the scope to test you. You should have taken a stand that yes, sir. Because of this, the status of women is witnessing a decline. So that shows okay. He also knows to appreciate that trend. He is not just concerned about the technicality or technical understanding of the concept. That is what I felt. And cultural lag, I think you did not answer it. Simple. Cultural lag means, I think Sir asked this question in another panel other day.
Nimkov and Ogburn. These are two persons. They're all the anthropologists.
Simple. The pace at which the technology progress, culture is not progressing. So this has created a void between technological progress and cultural progress. Somewhere every society is now finding it difficult to reconcile with this difference between cultural progress and technological progress. Just work on that concept, because examiners would like to ask topics like this. Palliative care is a good answer. Again, rehabilitative care is a good answer. Everything is a good answer. But my only concern is the choice of words. You should have simply said palliative care starts when it is accepted that no treatment is working till the end of the person. Rehabilitative care is when the treatment starts and when the person restores to complete normalcy. Something of this kind of choice of words. See, you are already there in that 160, 170. See, right now, what you want is that 210 so that you would end up in the best possible service, right? So, 160, 170, people like you getting 160, 120 is not a big deal. You will easily get it. But it's all about that extra 35, 40 marks. You should work on the sophistication. And the tradition is not to preserve the ash. It's a good example, and you have interpreted it really well. And also the case study challenge. It's a wonderful answer that shows your connect and how much I'm also a doctor, so I know. I did not feel even a single word is untrue or fake. I felt it very genuine. So I think those answers. I want the same level of authenticity in every single answer you give. So you will get a maximum scores. Yeah, that's it from my side. And yeah,
all the best. You will get, don't worry. But the only thing is you must prepare well.
Focus, let's give a little bit.
That will make
a
lot of sense. Now after going back, anyway, you will get that. You can see your own mannerisms
Yes, sir.
This and that. See, the casual classroom atmosphere is somewhere it goes on, and the casual meets. It is a formal situation where your interaction must be more formal. So that is, your dressing, everything is good. Only thing is, you must unlearn certain things and grow with the confidence. You will make it up,
Thank you, sir.
and you will get it. I am sure.
Thank you.
I wish you will get only IAS. You wrote IAS, IFS, and AFS is your third choice. IPS is your second choice.
So actually, I was not joining this railway services because it is after doing so much service in state government as a doctor, it is not. But I joined it so that at least I will. I'm giving this attempt. If I will not clear it, I will in lien period from state government. So I will join as a doctor.
So you want to go back there?
So I would like to work.
But
as a
I
doctor.
don't wish you should go back. Why I am telling you is, you can slowly get into the railway medical service. Slowly, you can become master of it. From IRAS to go there. You need don't go back. My advice is that, because God is kind, you got into an administration, and you can always become an administrator of the medical services. One point of time, Indian medical service is a top class service. The doctors, if somebody is not getting cured anywhere, they used to go to the railway doctor. He was so good. From there today, these fellows are referring to all sorts of specialists. And the railway hospitals were so good when I was a child. So they used to compare the Christian Medical College of Vellore. Railway hospital is such a level. It was such a level. So you can at least go and repair. You are talking that you could not repair there. You repair here.
Yes.
So don't engage. You will get it, the other service. Not that you don't get it. I don't wish you should get into IPS because you are already 30, nearly 35. I don't wish you should get it. I wish only you should get the IAS or IFS. Because again, going at this age and getting into the rigorous training is not very palliative. You don't rather relish. So I wish, because I know what is Indian police service training. But now it is so liberal. When we were there, it was so hard. And every day I used to come back from the parade and squeeze my socks, and I used to have this much of sweat. I used to pour it into the wash basin, wash my hand, mark it tick on the date. Oh, now it is over. This month another 7 days are left. So such vigorous. We used to have that ex-army fellows. They really squeezed us. And that makes us to be even today like this. That's a different story. But what I mean to say is that you will get it IAS in case you work little more hard. Especially basics, you should be very conversant. In both medical science, your anthropology, your general. Now, for example, Kashmir files, or you got the Kashmir issue, then Ukraine war, all current affairs. You should be conversant, because that day when whatever comes in newspaper, at least one of them will read and come and put questions on that. So that day newspaper you must read. Tuck, you must quickly grasp. And you editorial, you must see what he has written, then prepare yourself. Like that. Little trick of the trade you must learn, then you will push through. Anyway, good luck, Rammohan.
All the best. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
This video is brought to you by AKS IAS.